Hi, my name is Adriana, and I would like to share with you my journey with Malcolm from Guided Intelligence. But before, I would like to tell you a bit about myself and my background. I was born in Spain to a family of scientists, and from a young age, I really felt the weight of expectations. I was the youngest of two, and I put the pressure on myself since early on. I became an overachiever. And yeah, I really believed that success meant following a path of achievement, like my family have done. And I started seeking validation through others and through external accomplishments as my only source of happiness. So I went on to become an engineer with the highest honors, but yet, despite my academic successes, I felt increasingly sad and lost and disconnected from myself. I now realize that my mind and ego were in absolute control of my life, guiding me like a dog and seeking the next big thing. So really my mind had me captive, and I completely lost touch with my true self. It wasn't until I felt really ill about 2 years ago that I realized that something needed to change. I looked upon my life when that happened, and I felt really unhappy with my life and what I had done. And if I had died there, I would have felt really sad with everything. Even though I was really successful, I would have been sad with everything that I had done and how everything turned out. So that became a really the biggest wake up call I had. That sparked my journey of seeking truth. So in this journey, a few months ago, I stumbled upon Malcolm's interview where he was sharing his near-death experience. And the way he spoke, his words, really resonated with me deeply. And I just prompted me to reach out. And from our first conversation, I would say that Malcolm was really challenging. I remember that my body was kind of divided. My mind didn't like him at all. I now think it was feeling threatened, but something within me, my soul, really did like him, and something in me just jumped into it right away without thinking about it, without giving the mind any chance. So I have to say that before him, I was a very excuse type of person. I was always making excuses for everything and anything that happened to me, and I had become very adept at being a victim of my life and my circumstances. So I was very good with words and with my excuses, and I was very good at selling them to others. But not with Malcolm. Malcolm is a no-nonsense kind of guy, and his approach to life really shattered my excuses, and forced me to confront myself head on. So working with him was tough, to put it lightly. It forced me to confront parts of myself that I think I had ignored, and because he saw right through my facade, the facade I had created, and he called me out on things that no one had ever dared to mention before, not even myself. So he completely destroyed me, and destroyed all the walls of excuses I had really meticulously created and built around myself. And I really think he was the first person in my life that was so brutally honest with me. It's funny because working with him, even though it was tough at times, at the same time it was kind of liberating, if that makes sense. It was something that I think my soul and my life needed. So it was a very painful process, but at the same time I was facing my truth, and So with him, I understood that what you really put out in the world is what exactly comes back to you. And with that, looking back, I realized that I was finding myself coming back to situations that I didn't like, that I didn't understand, and that kept on repeating themselves. And instead of asking why these things were coming back to me, I guess Malcolm taught me to ask what I was doing to make them come back to me, which felt incredibly odd to me. I didn't. For me, I understood then that I needed to take responsibility for my life and for the things that happened to me. I I learned pretty quickly that instead of blaming external circumstances, which I did often, I began to take ownership of my thoughts and my actions. And as soon as I did that, I started seeing changes almost immediately in my life. I guess that's what manifesting really means. So I must say that controlling my thoughts has become my superpower. And in just a few weeks, my spiritual growth has been amazing. And I have personally felt a profound shift in myself and my awareness, my way of thinking, and how I act and how I speak. So, though my journey was painful, I think it was necessary for my growth and my evolution as a human being. And today I can say that I'm a changed person. I'm much calmer. I feel at peace. And especially, I feel truly grateful for each day in my life. Malcolm has helped me shed old layers that were no longer serving me, and I feel I'm now in a path of self discovery, which is amazing. To end this, I would just like to say that if you're ready to embrace change and to take control of your life, I highly recommend reaching out to Malcolm. Working with him is for the brave, and if you dare to walk with him, you won't regret it. Thank you, Malcolm, and I feel so grateful to have you in my path.